Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So on a previous video I said, if anyone's got any ideas of anything you want to film, then please put them forward. And one of the suggestions was to do a little video on my Chanel collection. Now I thought what I would do is not my entire Chanel collection, as I recently filmed my SLG collection. There's quite a lot of Chanel in there, but I thought I'd just talk about Chanel handbags. Yes, we can see there's a Birkin in the background here. We'll just pop her there in the background along with Mr. As Interested as Ever Beagle. So for those of you who haven't already, obviously I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. But yeah, let's get into it. So what I'm going to do, because also I think this is really topical, because since we had the suggestion and I planned the video, between filming, we've had the Chanel price increase. So I'm going to give you my thoughts for what they're worth on that. And I'll do it as we go through the bag. So I'm going to show you what I've got. I've got a total of I've got a total of 5 Chanel bags. So I will talk you through all of those, why I bought them, what I like about them, what I don't like about them, and we'll talk about price as we go. I'll share with you, let's be honest about this, I'll share with you what I paid for them when I bought them. I'll share with you where I got them from. There's a couple of discontinued items here. So firstly, I'm going to start small. Here is my wallet on chain, and this is this is a seasonal bag. So it's caviar, but it's a slightly finer grained caviar than standard. Champagne gold hardware. It's got the little pocket on the back. I've got the chain inside, so if we open it up, mine's what's called the more modern version. So it's got the magnetic closure there. It's got the metal hardware here and here on the zip. The older ones have a popper closure here, and this is like the traditional leather tab. We have the far too long fixed chain in there. I've got my little like base shaper, the clear click one from waxaver.com. I'll put a link description box below. Not sponsored, but yeah, I bought this, so I will do a link there. I really like having that. It just opens up the bag a little bit more. And yeah, so we have a slip pocket here, a zip pocket there. Again, all burgundy lined. Mine is old enough that it's got a authenticity card, not the new magnetic date code thing. We have a little slip pocket here, and this does fit a passport, a UK passport, without a cover on. But if you were travelling, like using this as a travel bag, you can put that in there. It's quite good for your essentials actually, because you've got your 6 card slots there, so you could literally use it as a wallet on chain and just put in cards, phone, passport, any currency, anything you want to grab quick there. It's a super bag. So I got this exactly to be that. I got this to be a wallet on chain. I got it to be a bag for an event. I went for the champagne gold hardware. I went for this seasonal one. I could have had a normal one because I felt like it was like a little bit more evening. The caviar for the seasonal version was almost like that, a little bit glossier. It wasn't as, I show you to compare, wasn't as sumptuous as this black lambskin version I've got here, but it's almost like it had a slight more depth of colour because the grain was smaller than the traditional caviar. So that was my reason. I liked both, and I just thought this makes it a little bit more of an event bag. It's really soft. It's like a really soft yet durable caviar. I really like it, and I liked having the, like I say, the in-betweeny hardware. It wasn't too brassy gold. Again, if you look at the, I'll show you on the chain, I'll show you the difference. And yes, the chain is finer on the wallet on chain compared to the classic flap, but you can see there the difference in colour between the gold and the champagne, for anyone that's interested. If not, about 3 seconds. I find this, my opinions on this bag, I find this super handy. I like going shopping with this. I've used it for city breaks because again I can get my essentials in It's small, it's lightweight, it's comfortable, it's close to my body, and I think it's an absolutely great little bag, and I can fit a lot in. And I also feel like I'm fairly carefree with this as well. I mean, as carefree as I ever am with any handbag. So those are like all the good things. The cons, to be honest, the only con I really say is this chain length, which is way too long for me. But then you can do something about that. I have a little bag clip that I bought. Again, you can, Chanel apparently give them out now. Didn't for me, but you can just buy them from Amazon for about £2 to £3. They're not expensive. And then you just literally clip those together. If you want to try it out, you can just use a bit of ribbon and just tie it. So yeah, this is the wallet on chain. Now I believe I bought this directly in the store from the boutique in Harrods in London, and I think I paid £1,920, and that was in December 2019. So price increases. What is it now? I took a screenshot. So now this retails for £2,810. So 2019, 1,920, 2,810, early 23. So a bit of a hike. Do I think it's worth it? Would I now buy this for the new price? I actually think I probably would. If I wouldn't because I've got one, but if I didn't have one, I think that I probably would swallow it. I don't think I'd necessarily want to pay that much, but would I? For how much I've used this little guy, and especially as either to just as a more entry like but classic look to Chanel, yes, I probably would. I rate this, and I've used this, you know, more than my classic. So yes. As I started talking price, let me tell you more generally my thoughts on the price increase. I think the price increases that we've seen, where Chanel are now gone up 13–16%, is an astronomical price increase. Now generally, you know, we've seen this a lot. We've had a number of price increases from Louis Vuitton and Hermes in January. Now generally, my view generally on this is that yes, there's big increases, but these are luxury items. These are not day-to-day essentials. And you know, if you can't afford it, and I say this from someone who has to save up and buy them, and at the moment, I'm not in that league. You know, I'm priced out right now. It is luxury. It's not an essential. So generally, and please wait for me to finish. Generally, it's acceptable because it is luxury, and if you can't afford it, you can't have it, and you just, you know, have to stick with essentials. Now, where I'm at, I work full time. I buy all my items myself from my earnings, from working hard and from saving up, and sometimes I have to sell other items to be able to afford new ones. That's kind of what happens. Quite often I see things that I would really like and I can't have them because I can't afford them. You know, so I'm a luxury lover, I'm a bag enthusiast, but I don't have the means to just buy what I want. I'm not there. And I appreciate that I'm able to afford a lot more than a lot of other people, and including some of you watching. I do understand that. But I'm still quite grounded with this. So that's my general view. Now, in terms of this particular price increase and the prices that Chanel are now charging, personally, I think it's greedy. I don't think it's warranted. And I certainly will not be buying brand new. I mean, never say never, but really my view at the moment is I will not be buying brand new from the boutique a classic bag. Like I say, wallet on chain, whilst it's a lot of money, and especially there's other wallet on chains out there, you know, you can get a really nice little mini Fendi for, you know, less than 2,000. So there are other wallet on chains out there, but if you have got your heart set on the Chanel wallet on chain, then you know what, do it. If you can afford it, buy it. The increase is huge, and like I say, it's nearly £1,000 from when I bought it, which is a lot. You know, it's like 30% from when I bought it. But if you want a taste of Chanel and you want this, it is a super little bag. Personally, I would if I didn't already have it. Now I have one. I have it in classic black. I'm not looking to get another colour one. I tend to go to Hermes for colour, but like I say never. So that's that bag. And I hope I articulated myself enough about the price increase. I think that what Chanel have done is really increase their prices astronomically. Their quality hasn't followed. These are not handmade bags, you know. It's not like the Hermes Birkin, which is, you know, skillfully trained artisans that take years to be qualified enough to be allowed to make a Birkin, then spend like 48 hours hand making one from every, you know, I've seen some of it in action in some of the stores. You know, they do everything themselves. It's not passed down the line. One person makes one entire bag, so they learn the skills for the hardware and the cutting and the stitching, everything. So it's very, very different. You can't compare the two, which leads me on to talking about this one. Now this bag I bought for myself for the year I turned 40. So I had this one a good, yeah, we've had this one over 5 years now, let's face it. So I did buy it before my actual birthday because I got impatient, but it was that year, I think. So I bought this, I believe it was July 2017, and mine is the lambskin, black lambskin with gold hardware. And I chose lambskin over caviar. I had both offered to me. I had silver hardware offered to me. I could have gone with whatever I wanted, because at the time these were, and that's without much buying history or anything, you know, at the time you could go into, as I did, Chanel and Harrods, have a discussion, see what they've got, and buy one. There was no hoops, there was no pre-spend or anything like that. There was no, I just walked in and said, I would like to buy a bag, please. And oh, certainly, what would you like? It was that kind of thing. And they put one on hold for me because I had a whole dilemma between what I wanted, and anyway, because basically I wanted to buy 2 bags and only had the money for 1 bag. So then spent the day with Bestie Lorna, sorry Lorna, debating what I wanted. I was really tempted to the small trendy in like this camel colour. It's beautiful. Probably would have worn it more than this. Anyway, so this is a classic double flap. I have not used this bag as much as I should have. This bag is in nearly new condition. The only bits of condition that don't make it new really is creasing, mainly from storage, because that's what they do. So you've got a little dent there, a bit of denting there, even though I use felt from the stupid zip from a pocket that's pointless. And there is creasing on the back there, which I think happened within not the first use. So that's just natural. And that's what happens. Corners are good. The leather is sumptuous. I do feel like this is a nice quality, well-made bag. I'm looking at this. All my stitching's good. Everything's aligned. I think this was from a year when they were still good. This was, like I said, I think 2017. What do I think of this bag? I think it's beautiful. I think it's a classic bag. I think it's one that I will certainly keep, especially as I'm getting older as well. Now, at one point, I'm going to be really open and honest and say at one point, a couple of years ago, I thought about selling this just because I wasn't reaching for it as often as I thought I should do for the amount I paid for it. And I think a couple of reasons why. It doesn't hold, for the size of bag, it doesn't hold that much. And then I think there was a price increase, and I looked at what they were then. I think they were like over £5,000 to buy or something, and I was like, you know what, I wouldn't spend that again on it. I'm going to keep it, I'm going to use it. I think, you know, it is, I sometimes use this for events, I've used it for weddings, and I've used it just to go shopping with, and enjoyed it. So what do I like about this? I really like this flap here, which I typically put my phone in. If you can see, this is the Apple iPhone 13 Pro, normal size. Goes in quite nicely, doesn't overly push it. Being lamb, not caviar, there's a nice lot of malleability about this and flexibility. Being a double flap, it's enough to hold its structure. I like these little pockets here, not so much the lipstick one, but the other pocket. Double flap, annoys the hell out of me, gets in the way. I don't need this extra popper thing, I don't use it, I don't need that much security. I mean, like having it closed by that and close to my body is secure enough for me, thank you. So that annoys me. If I were redesigning this bag, I'd literally just chop this off, keep this, obviously remove the branding, chop that off, get rid of the stupid pointless pocket, and that's probably all I do actually. Now, a lot of people have criticised this for chain length, but there it is on the shoulder. I think it's fine. If I wanted to wear it crossbody, it's not ideal. Oh, let me show you. It's not ideal, but it's, there you go, it's doable. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think that's that bad. Oh. Hi. So for me, that's not a problem. Now price. I said I'd talk about price. Let's talk about price. I bought this for £3,990, so just shy of £4,000. That's including tax and everything. Now, £8,530. £8,530. The reason I've got this here. Now, I'm trying to remember what I paid for this. Less than 8,000. I think this was about 7,500 in 2019. So they are a little. There have been price increases. These are more now. These are probably about 8,500 now. Now, with the pricing strategy, are Chanel, are they, I don't know, I have no inside knowledge here, but are they trying to emulate Hermès's marketing strategy? They're making it harder for people to buy, and they're pricing this the same as a Birkin 30 in Togo. Obviously, you know, other leathers be more, Epsom less. Handmade bag by artisans, very well trained, machine made. Now, my bag is good, no complaints. Other than the stupid classic, the double flap and the pointless zip. But quality wise, I've had no complaints for this at all. Similarly with this. Now, this, when I bought them, this was just over half the price of this. Yeah, I probably love this twice as much. So, love-wise, I'm good, and I've certainly used it more than twice as much. I've used this many, many times. You wouldn't think so to look at her. I was like, yes, this I am more careful with. Now, the price of, we're pretty much about the same price now-ish. This holds twice as much. But at the end of the day, it's a Birkin. It's a beautiful quality, finest leather put together with the finest craftsmanship. This is the holy grail handbags for a lot of handbag lovers. This is not that. Now this is great, and this is a classic, and I love this bag, so I'm not having a go at Chanel. I just think they're not ready. The craftsmanship, the quality, the materials are not of this stature. Therefore the price shouldn't be. That's my view. Now, they're very different. I mean, when you look at these, they're very different styles, and there will be a lot of people that are Chanel diehards that don't like Hermès, and that's absolutely fine. There's a lot of people, I think, now that will go, well, do I want to buy this for the price of a Birkin? Or do I just want to buy a Birkin? And that's a real shame. It's a real shame for Hermès lovers like me, because it's going to be harder to get bags in future. But selfishness aside, I don't know, maybe we'll see. I mean, I'm sure, I mean, I won't be buying another classic flap. I'm sure Chanel will not miss my spend at all. They won't notice. And like I say, I never say never for another Chanel bag. Sorry, fluff. Never say never for another Chanel bag. You know, I still would like a mini reissue. I still like the DeVille. Yeah, there's still bags I would like, but I think for now, certainly classic flap wise, I wasn't really looking at one anyway because of how much the double flap annoys me, and I'm good with what I've got. It's a classic bag and I got it in the classic black and gold, so I think that's why I'm good. Anyway, let's just move on. So here we have, from what I've talked about, this is my first pre-loved purchase. This is discontinued because, looky, no double flap. So this is such an underrated handbag. It really is. This is the classic MAXI flap. Mine I bought pre-loved from a small designer, you know, pre-loved company that unfortunately business is no longer trading. It's like a family-owned business. Came with all authentication and everything. This is in lambskin from when lambskin was super good. I mean, you can see this bag is squishy, it's malleable. I tend to use a bag liner and store her with a pillow inside as well, because not being the double flap, these bags can be susceptible to a loss of structure, particularly in lamb, but then I think it looks better when lamb loses its structure versus when caviar loses its structure. Inside, and mine's for silver hardware. I actually had this replaced for free by Chanel, so really good customer service there. Like I say, this isn't a Chanel slating video at all. I just don't agree with the new prices, but it's down to them. They price what they think. They're the seller. They price what they price, and we as buyers make the decision whether we want to partake in that or not. Single flap. It's got slip pocket here and a zip pocket there, so you can fit so much in this. Compared to the jumbo, I much prefer the MAXI. I really do. Being a single flap and in lamb, it's a light bag. It really is a light bag, and the chain makes it a bit heavier. But the strap length, the jumbo is so long, it's ridiculous. The MAXI is a nice length. If you look at this on my shoulder, this is generally how I wear it. As a shoulder bag, it's a really nice length. Especially when it gets heavier, you know, due to me filling it up, then it absolutely, you know, it does get a bit heavier. But it feels quite heavy now. I'm going to show you the reason why it feels heavy now. Yeah. MacBook. So I really won't fit my work laptop, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I don't have a MacBook Air for work. That would be nice, but yeah. So my MacBook fits in here as well. So that goes to show you what a great bag it is. This back pocket is nice and big and generous. I don't tend to put my phone in, but you could actually put your phone in without stretching this out. You can see how easy that is. So if you want a bit of convenience, you can do that. This, like I say, this bag is completely underrated. Now, money. I looked on the Chanel website just before filming this, so I could tell you what the new retail price is of these. It's available on request. I always think whenever you read that, it's like, if you got to ask, like when you see fine jewellery and I go, oh, pretty diamonds, wonder how much that is, you know, you go, yeah, you got to ask. It's not something I can afford. So I really don't know, and I can't tell you. I can tell you that I think I paid about £2,000 for this a number of years ago. Like I say, is pre-loved, isn't perfect, but is in really good condition. You know, you can see there's signs of use, basically. with the softening of the leather, but that's it. There's no real damage. The only sort of what I would class as damage is this weird mark on the back there. Look how tiny it is. On the back, you don't notice. And to be fair, it just kind of, the longer I've had it, the more it's just kind of blended in. So all I do is I do moisturise this bag from time to time, not often. Just keep it clean really, and because I rotate my bags, nothing gets overused. I probably wear this less than I used to since COVID because it doesn't fit my work laptop in and I have to take it in all the time. I used to wear this an awful lot before COVID when I just had like all my daily essentials in here. You fit a pair of shoes in there. So it's a really great bag. I'm guessing that the new price is going to be about £10,000, something in that region. Sorry, I can't tell you exactly. There may be sources online that have done more research than me. I thought I would just go via the Chanel website and it's not telling me. And I even looked for the reissue as well, because normally the reissue MAXI and the classic MAXI are the same price, and it's the same thing, price available on request. The next bag, and again I can't give you current prices of this because it's discontinued. And by the way, the price for the MAXI that I've seen online would be in the double flap, so it would be, you know, more than what this should. But anyway, so the next one I have here is my Grand Shopping Tote, or GST, in beige Claire, and this is such a great bag. Again, if you want to see with the laptop, it goes in like that, super easy. My work laptop does fit in this as well, poor love, but I do need to remove the bag inserts that I've got in if I want to use my work laptop. These are from Zumoni, and they come for their GST, they come as a pair. You get two for the two different sections, and the reason I got these is that the GST can be prone to sag. A lot of what you see on the pre-loved market, they're all saggy, just it's this bit on either side, and as you can see, mine is good. There's a slightest bit if you look at a certain angle there, but really next to no sag at all. I do try and store it carefully. I do have these bag inserts. If anyone's interested, I do have a discount code. I'll put it in the description box below. But if you would like 20% off any Zumoni bag organiser, 20%, then I have the code Jojo Lux. I've used Zumoni for a number of years. I much prefer them to Samorga. I mean, I shouldn't moan about another brand, but I found Samorga to be expensive. I found the delivery slow. I found the delivery expensive, and I just really like the ones I've had from Zumoni. All of them, they fit perfectly. Now these particular ones were gifted to me over 2 years ago, but that was after I'd actually gone there directly as a customer for my insert for my on-the-go, my Louis Vuitton on-the-go tote. And yeah, I really like them. And then when they approached me to just gift me, there's no affiliation here at all. I don't need to mention this, I just thought I would because it was in the bag and I saw them. And I really like them. So if you want just a bog standard felt liner, maybe some more stuff coming in future, then I highly recommend Zumoni, and they do a great range as well, which is what I really like about them. For my Hermes bags, my favourite inserts are 7RP, but you know, as we know, they are super expensive. Anyway, I digress, as always. Silver hardware on this, which I thought looked was more unusual when I was looking on the pre-loved market for these. So these were discontinued, and I just really like this bag. The quality of this is really good. The leather is super durable, super sturdy. You know, there's a slight bit of damage in the corners, very slight there, but you're going to get that from a big weighty bag that's structured and chunky. That will happen regardless of what the bag is. You know, aside from that, the main body of the leather is just in stunning condition. It cleans up nice. I haven't had any colour transfer. I love the organisation of this bag. Even without the organisers, you've got these two sections. It opens up, look, opens up nice and fully. You've got this zip section in the middle for anything precious, along with this section here that's zip. You've got a D-ring on a cord there. You've got slip pocket there, which is massive, and you can put your phone in or whatever. So although it's open for easy access to your items, but it's also got security built in. And I like having the division of putting the bag into two halves, which I think works on this bag because it's big enough that you can still get into, and it just gives that greater organisation. So I might have things like, you know, laptop, notebook, worky bits on one side, personal bits like bits of makeup and like my phone and my wallet on the other side. Or yeah, there's different various ways. I like a bit of organisation in life in generally, and also in my handbags. So that's this bag. It's a wonderful bag. It can, the only thing, I've had to say something that does annoy me, and there's been a lot of reports of this, it can, as you're walking, where the straps go, it can fall off. Now, what I find to combat that is if you put enough in and give it some weight, that helps. If you cross the straps over, that helps. And then furthermore, if that's still not enough, if you swish it slightly to the back as you're walking, that also helps. So, and I wear this for the daily commute, so I'm typically about an hour of walking in total during the day wearing this, and that's without going out at lunch. So it's great. The back pocket, again, amazing. Fits your phone in easy, fits your, you know, my travel pass for that easy access. It's a great bag and is of utmost quality. Now, I bought this pre-loved. I bought this from a business called Hardly Ever Worn It, or Hewy. Again, I'll put in the description box below. It's a bit like Vestiaire Collective, that type of website, but based in London. And I paid slightly over the odds for this at the time that I got it. Not horrifically, but I think I paid £2,100 for this a few years ago. So yeah, I think I got this in 2017. You could tell I was like having a Chanel year that year. So that's that bag. And then we have my newest edition. So whenever I watch Amelia from Amelia Rose's Closet, and there's always like a Chanel, like a classic mini that looks very similar to this. It is different, but it's got the same vibe about her, and I always love that. And then I saw this pre-loved. I had on my almost like my mental wish list to have a reissue mini, and I preferred the reissue minis over the classic minis because you had the double grommet, so you could wear it single or double strap, and there's a slightly greater width to them, like depth to them. So that was what I wanted, and I really love the reissue, and I really love chevron, and I saw this pre-loved and I bought this. Now, this I believe is actually from the same year as this, and this would have been £3,990 new, so exactly the same price. This is the closest in size you can get to that. So yeah, same thing. Yes, I've bought a stupid annoying double flap, but I paid £3,100 for this, so I paid cheaper than the retail it would have been new. Not by a lot, but by a little bit. It is used. There is a bit of wear. The worst thing, and the only thing that really annoys me, but it's pre-loved, I accept it, is, if you can see the slight wear to the corner. So there's a little bit of wear to the corner there. It's not massive, it's not worn out, it's just there's a slight change in colour. But overall, as a bag, I think this is stunning. The length of the strap, and I've done a full comparison video. I'll put a link to the video up there. I've done a full comparison video between this reissue and this classic flap, so check that out if you want all the details. But absolutely love this bag. And again, new, over £8,500. Now I'm very happy with this for £3,000. Would I have paid another £5,000 or so? I could buy a whole Hermes bag for that. For the price difference between what I paid for this and what it would be new now, I could have bought an Hermes Roulis. That's the currency that I'm working in. And yeah, sorry Chanel, but I'm not out of everything, but I'm largely out. I think, you know, I'm obviously not the type of customer that you want anymore, and that's okay. I'm good, I swear. So yeah, that's all of my Chanel bags. That's the prices of all of them, where I got them from, my thoughts on the price increases. And like I say, if you still like Chanel and you can do it, then do. I'm not saying don't. It's just not right for me. And I think given how much experience I've had with Hermes, both customer service, materials quality, craftsmanship, my love for the bags, I'm not putting Chanel at an equal level, so therefore I don't want to spend equal money. That's basically where I'm at. I hope somebody found that useful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. It is quite controversial. Chanel, I think you're taking the mick. I don't know why I'm saying that like they're watching, like they even know who I am. But I honestly do think they're taking the mick with what they want to charge, knowing some of the quality issues we've seen. Like I say, I haven't got quality issues with my bags, but I've heard of people buying newer bags. There's, you know, do some research, just go on Google, go on YouTube, see what the handbag community is saying. There are quality issues. And if you're paying £8,500 for a bag, there really shouldn't be. There absolutely shouldn't be. They shouldn't be for £2,000, £3,000. You know, 20 quid from down the market. Yeah, you know what? Maybe, but not when you get into this money, Birkin money. No. Do take care, everybody. I will see you soon for another video where I think we're going to talk totes, one of my favourite styles. Bye bye. You poor love, you having to sleep and dream.